When you have such success with a song that you've written or co-written, how hard is it to resist the temptation to replicate that, or do you resist temptation, or do you? Here's my real question. I'm just making this up. Are there songs that you have co-written with Kenny Loggins that you've never played for anybody?
Oh, there probably are songs that me and Kenny wrote that I don't even remember, you know, to be honest with you. Because we wrote quite a few, and Kenny recorded more of them than I did. You know, I wrote more with him for his records. What a Fool Believes is one of the, and I did not do This Is It. But What a Fool Believes is one of the few that we actually both cut, you know. And I Gotta Try was, I think, the other one. Yeah, it's scary as you get older and you suddenly realize that there's a whole lot of work out there that if I had done a better job of filing things and keeping track of cassettes, I'd maybe still know where those songs are or how they even go, you know. But
well, my goodness, I can't imagine. Those are all such amazing songs. I mean, I just can't imagine you're thinking, you know, that you put a cassette away somewhere. I bet they're in there. They're in there somewhere, Michael.
Well, you know, it's funny. This happened to me. I don't know if this has ever happened to you, Lyle, but where I'll write something that seemed like I just kind of popped out. One of those rare songs that just writes itself almost, you know, and you go, wow, I wrote that song in, 20 minutes? I can't believe it, you know. Usually struggling with something for years, you know. And that's amazing. It came so fast, and then I'll find a cassette in a drawer somewhere that I haven't touched in 4 years, and by curiosity might play it, and all of a sudden I'll hear parts of that song that I thought I wrote in 20 minutes that I was working on 4 years ago and just forgot about, you know. But they go into your subconscious and kind of somehow find their way back out, you know, years later. Hopefully a little better than they were when you put them in the drawer, you know.
Well, I hope you find those cassettes. And yeah, my mom used to always tell me growing up, there are many correct ways to do something. So there's not just one way to write a song.
No, that's true. That's true. Believe me, I know that one.
Well, that's tell me another collaboration that you did that is so famous, and I've seen folks all week, you know, hinting about it. So I feel obligated to ask you, and I'm curious myself. I mean, you have such an important part in the film 40-Year-Old Virgin. I mean, it's just one of the best parts of the whole movie. How did all that happen?
Well, a friend of mine was working on the film. He was one of the music directors at Universal Films, and when the producer, it was Judd Apatow, was doing the film, my buddy was so afraid that I would be offended that he sent us daily scripts changes, you know, and the scripts were hysterical. I mean, a lot of what Paul Rudd did, he just did on the fly, I'm assuming, but and then every once in a while he would send me like a daily, you know, like a little video clip or something, and the stuff they didn't use was twice as funny and 10 times as brutal, you know, but it was pretty good. In fact, I might have told you this. Paul Rudd actually came up to me in an airport in LAX and apologized to me for the movie, and we laughed about it, you know, because I really enjoyed every minute of it, and I felt flattered to be the guy picked to be, you know, the scapegoat for the whole script.
You were right there on the big screen the whole movie. It seemed like.
Oh no, yeah, it was fun. You know, my kids would always get a big kick out of all that stuff. Family Guy, you know, 40-Year-Old Virgin. You know, it was like, that's the only thing they really know about my career is my pathetic comic value. You know.
Now another comedy bit, and this involves somebody we have in common too. I worked on a movie directed by Michael Meredith called The Open Road. It had one scene in the movie, and I got to work with Justin Timberlake. Now there's the famous bit from the Tonight Show with y'all together.
Right, with Jimmy Fallon, yeah.
Yes.
I was just along. Yeah. I was just along for the ride on that one, you know.
Well, I hardly think so. I think your hair was the star of that whole deal.
Yeah, yeah. No, it's I think that's kind of part of the price of entry on the Jimmy Fallon show. You got to be willing to do anything, no matter how humiliating it might turn out to be.
He's a nice man, isn't he?
Very funny guy, sweet guy too. And Justin Timberlake, what a talent, I mean, what an amazing.
He really was. He's from Memphis, and the scene that I was part of was at the Peabody Hotel in Memphis.
Oh, really?
And it was, the lobby was just full of folks that were there to see him. And I remember going down, riding the elevator from my room down to the set, and I was on the elevator with a family, a husband and wife, and their daughter, who was, I don't know, 7 or 8 only. And it turned out they lived down the street from me in the Houston area. And the little girl was really charming, and we all said hello, and then there was this kind of a silence on the elevator, as there can be. Mm-hmm. And she looked up at me and she said, "Are you really going to get to meet Justin Timberlake?" I said, "Yes, ma'am, I am."
That's great.
And it was, I was like, all of a sudden, I was something. That's the way I felt.
Sure. That's usually how I come to any kind of real recognition too, is through someone else I know. But I mean, what an amazing. To me, Justin Timberlake's halftime show was one of the best ever. I thought, of all these pastime shows. I mean, or halftime shows. They're all such huge productions, but I really enjoyed his the most because the way he kind of just got right into the crowd and. Kind of made them part of it all. The whole experience was really
well, and he was just as personable in person, just the two of us talking. I played bartender and he was a customer, and it was he treated me like we knew each other. It was a great experience for me.
He's a good spirit, that guy.
Yeah, that's right. I have a new record coming out when the pandemic is over, because we're not quite finished with it, but we're supposed to be. But those plans got put on hold, and this song will be on it. No, thank you, I couldn't. I really don't think so, not ever, because she could find the square root of 1 billion bugs that could kill you. Believe me, it's all in her mind. And she's the queen of no, K-N-O-W, I mean. Wherever I go, she knows what I need. Through sunshine and snow, she understands. She's the queen of knowing I'm her loving man. We might fight, we might argue, we might disagree, but I'll tell you how it's bound to be. I can love her or hate her, but I'll see her later and worship her on bended knee. She's the queen of no, K-N-O-W, I mean. Wherever I go, she knows what I need. Through sunshine and snow, she understands. She's the queen of knowing I'm her loving man. My crown may be tarnished
My throne may be threadbare, my robe may be tattered and torn, but her crown is shining, blindingly guiding me into her embracing arms. And she's the Queen of No, K-N-O-W, I mean. Wherever I go, she knows what I need. Through sunshine and storm, and she understands. She's the Queen of knowing I'm her loving man. She's the Queen of knowing.
All right.
You lived for a number of years in Nashville, correct?
Yeah.
How how did you take to the country music?
Well, I always loved country music ever since I was a kid. Back in St. Louis back then, there was all the shows were on Saturday, broadcast on the Nashville network, I guess it was, or whatever network it was back then. There was the Bill Anderson show. Willie Nelson had a show. Dolly and Porter, Grand Ole Opry, and they all kind of played in sequence throughout the Saturday afternoon. And so a lot of my friends' parents, who were big country fans, that was put the TV out on the porch and watch all those guys, do their shows in sequence, and we used to sit a lot of times and watch them, and I always enjoyed the songs, and the different artists that I wasn't all that familiar with. One of my I had a huge crush on Brenda Lee. First time I saw her perform on one of those shows, and Brenda and Patsy Cline, Etta James, all those female artists at the time. There was a certain kind of now kind of iconic record that was being made back then with the lush orchestrations. I'm trying to think of the producer's name who did Brenda Lee back then, but beautiful records and with really kind of wonderful and very sophisticated kind of violin orchestrations and stuff. And they were these beautiful country songs, but like with Patsy and Etta James, and Etta James were more of a R&B songs, but they still had that same kind of texture as records, where the beautiful female voice with a lush production with orchestration and stuff, and that's a certain era that I really love a lot, and some of the songs that came out of that era, "Break It to Me Gently," Patsy Cline's "Crazy," there was just something about that. That was a real era for female artists of a real high caliber to me, and Brenda was one of those, and she was actually the first, as I was telling you the other day, she's one of the first people I wrote with when I came to Nashville.
Incredible.
Yeah. But I always loved her songs, and I might do one if it's all right.
Oh, please do.
Yeah, this is a Brenda Lee song. For all you young whippersnappers who don't know who Brenda Lee is, you'll recognize the song, I think. Don't sigh a sigh for me. Don't ever cry for me. This is goodbye for me. I know it's true. I'm losing you. Love sang a song for me. Then things went wrong for me. Nights are too long for me, because I'm losing you. Our love and our devotion were deep as any ocean. Then one day, like the tide, you began to change. You became a perfect stranger. Some arms are holding you. Sharing the lips I knew. I can't believe it's true that I'm losing you.
Oh man.
One of my favorites.